You go to bed each night hoping your body will rest, recover, and rebuild. But what if I told you that while you sleep, your muscles are silently wasting away? It's not your imagination, and it's not just aging. Every night, millions of seniors unknowingly lose muscle, gram by gram, fiber by fiber. This slow erosion might not be obvious at first, but over weeks, months, and years, the consequences become clear. You feel weaker when you stand up. Your balance becomes more fragile. Simple tasks, like opening jars, climbing stairs, or carrying groceries, feel heavier than they used to. And worse, your risk of falls, frailty, and cognitive decline skyrockets. You see, your muscles aren't just for movement. They're the very foundation of your metabolic health, brain function, and even immune strength. And once they start disappearing, especially after the age of 60, the entire body begins to weaken in ways that no medication can fix. This isn't fear-mongering, this is physiology. In fact, scientists now call this process sarcopenia, which literally means flesh loss. It starts quietly in your 50s, accelerates through your 60s, and if left unchecked, can rob you of your independence before you realize it's happening. But here's the good news. There is something you can do about it, and it starts tonight. Yes, tonight. Because what you do before bed has a direct impact on how your muscles recover, grow, or break down while you sleep. And most people, even those trying to stay healthy, are doing the exact opposite of what their bodies need. That's why in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 most common bedtime mistakes or missing habits that lead to muscle loss in seniors. And more importantly, what to do instead. By the end, you'll understand why your muscles are disappearing, what critical nutrients and routines you're missing, and how to rebuild strength, support your brain, and protect your independence, starting tonight. But before we dive in, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. You're here because you care about your health, and I'm here to give you the real answers you deserve. No hype, no fluff, just science-backed, senior-focused strategies that work. Ready? Let's begin. Your muscles vanish overnight without this nutrient. You've been told to eat healthy, to stay active, to rest well. But here's the truth that almost no one explains to seniors. If you're not getting the right protein at the right time, especially in the evening, your body will begin breaking down its own muscle for fuel. And that loss doesn't happen during your morning walk. It doesn't begin in the afternoon when you're cooking lunch. It begins at night, while you're sleeping. Let's break this down clearly so you know exactly what's happening and, more importantly, what you can do to stop your muscles from disappearing while you rest. The science: what happens to muscle while you sleep? Your body isn't idle while you're asleep. In fact, it's incredibly busy, repairing tissue, balancing hormones, detoxifying the brain, and critically, regenerating your muscles. But here's the catch: muscle repair and rebuilding require amino acids, the building blocks of protein. And if your body doesn't have access to those amino acids during the night, it still needs energy. So, where does it look? Your muscle tissue. Yes, your body will literally begin to break down your own muscle fibers to release amino acids for essential overnight functions. And for seniors, the rate of breakdown is faster. Why? Because as we age, we become less efficient at synthesizing protein, a condition scientists call anabolic resistance. That means you could be eating what you think is enough protein, but your body is actually absorbing and using less of it. So unless you're being intentional, especially with what you consume in the evening, your muscles could be shrinking even as you sleep. Why most seniors don't get enough evening protein. Think about your last dinner. Was it toast and soup, maybe rice and vegetables, a bowl of oatmeal or some crackers? For many older adults, especially those living alone or with reduced appetite, dinner becomes lighter, simpler, and often low in protein. Add to that, poor appetite due to medications, digestive issues with heavier meals, and fear of eating late at night. And suddenly you're going to bed with no muscle fuel. Your body has no choice but to take a withdrawal from your muscle bank. Night after night, this silent withdrawal adds up, and you feel it in your weaker grip, slower walking speed, less stability, more fatigue. And that's not all. Muscle loss equals brain decline. Research now shows a strong link between muscle mass and brain health, especially in older adults. One major study published in JAMA Neurology found that seniors with lower muscle mass had significantly more brain atrophy and cognitive decline over time. Why? Because your muscles regulate blood sugar, high glucose damages the brain, store key amino acids for neurotransmitter production, and support balance and movement, reducing fall-related trauma to the brain. So when you lose muscle, you're not just getting weaker, you're becoming more vulnerable neurologically. Your brain literally depends on the health of your body. The ideal evening strategy: what to eat before bed. Here's what I recommend to my senior patients who want to stop muscle loss at night and promote repair. First, consume 20 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at dinner. Options include grilled salmon, turkey, lentils with quinoa, eggs, or tofu. Why? This provides a steady stream of amino acids during the night. Second, add a slow-digesting protein snack 1 hour before bed. The best options are a small serving of Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or a plant-based protein shake. Why? These digest slowly and fuel overnight muscle synthesis. Alright, number 3, include leucine-rich foods. Leucine is the amino acid most responsible for triggering muscle growth. You'll find it in chicken, eggs, pumpkin seeds, and whey protein. Number 4, avoid eating only carbs before bed. A banana, toast, or sugary drink spikes insulin and crashes overnight. Without protein, it accelerates catabolism, the breakdown of muscle. Now let's talk about a real-life story: Mr. Dennis and his 3-month turnaround. Dennis, age 76, came to my clinic complaining, "Doctor, I feel like I'm shrinking. I used to carry groceries, now I need help getting up from the couch." We reviewed his meals: light breakfast, light lunch, toast and tea at night, virtually no evening protein. I recommended one simple change: add a 25-gram protein shake after dinner, with leucine and magnesium. He was hesitant. "Won't it make me gain weight?" he asked. No, because muscle gain is not the same as fat gain. 3 months later, he came in grinning, "I'm walking longer, I feel stronger, and I don't get dizzy when I stand up anymore." He didn't change his whole life, he changed his bedtime nutrition. So now you know, protein timing matters. It's not just how much you eat, it's when you eat it. But food isn't the only thing affecting your muscles while you sleep. In the next section, I'll reveal a mistake most seniors make without realizing it. One that tells your body to shut down muscle maintenance completely. And the best part? You won't need a gym membership to fix it. Let's continue. Why inactivity before bed weakens you faster. You've heard it said 1,000 times, get your rest. And while that's true, rest doesn't mean complete stillness, especially for your muscles. Here's what I want you to understand. When you stay completely inactive in the hours before bed, slumped in a chair, watching TV, scrolling through your phone, you're not just resting, you're sending a powerful signal to your body. I don't need these muscles anymore. And guess what your body does when it hears that message? It starts breaking them down. The problem is that muscle is metabolically expensive. Muscle is high-maintenance tissue. It requires energy, blood flow, nutrients, and hormonal support to maintain, even when you're not actively using it. That's why your body is strategically conservative. If you're not using a certain muscle group often, especially in the evening, your body may decide, we don't need to keep this, let's divert resources elsewhere. This is part of the natural use it or lose it principle, and it becomes even more aggressive as you age. In your 30s or 40s, missing a few workouts might not make a difference. But in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, just a few sedentary days, especially repeated in the evening, can result in measurable muscle loss. How movement signals muscle preservation. Every time you move your body, even gently, you activate neuromuscular pathways that tell your brain, these muscles are important, keep them alive. It's not about intense exercise, it's about reminding your nervous system that these muscles are still needed. Gentle movement before bed does three crucial things: improves circulation to muscle tissue, brings oxygen, nutrients and hormones right where they're needed. Alright, so let's dive into how our bodies work a bit. You see, stimulating those nerve-muscle connections is pretty crucial. It helps maintain our coordination, balance, and that all-important brain-to-body communication. Plus, it triggers anabolic signaling, which is like giving your body a gentle nudge to preserve and repair muscle overnight. It's fascinating how our bodies are wired, isn't it? Now, let's talk about something we all know too well. Why do evening sedentary habits accelerate muscle loss? Well, let's imagine a typical evening for many seniors. Around 7 in the evening you finish dinner. Then, from 7:30 to 10, it's time for some TV, sitting on the couch with minimal movement. It's a common routine, but it might be doing more than just helping you unwind. And then, by 10, it's off to bed. On the surface, this seems harmless, right? But there's more to it than meets the eye. It's all about understanding the impact of this 3-hour window of inactivity. It's something to think about, isn't it? But in reality, it's a 3-hour window of total inactivity right before your longest fasting and repair period, which is sleep. And that inactivity can deactivate muscle repair signals, reduce glucose utilization, and encourage fat storage instead of muscle retention. Over weeks or months, this routine leads to shrinking leg muscles, poor posture, increased insulin resistance, and a higher fall risk due to weaker stabilizing muscles. This process is so common, it's been named by some researchers as bedtime atrophy syndrome. It's subtle, it's slow, but it's happening. The fix doesn't require a gym or personal trainer. The simple solution is micro-movement before bed. In fact, just 5 to 10 minutes of intentional movement before bed can flip the script completely. Here's what I recommend to my senior patients. Gentle bodyweight movements before bed can make a big difference. Examples include seated leg lifts, wall push-ups, standing calf raises, arm circles, and light squats while holding a chair. Why? These exercises activate large muscle groups and improve blood balance drills. Examples: standing on one foot, hold on to something for safety. Heel-to-toe walking along a hallway line. Why? Engages core, legs, and neurological control. Breath and stretch flow. Combine deep diaphragmatic breathing with light stretching, enhances circulation and relaxes the nervous system, helps signal restorative repair mode, not breakdown mode. Create a movement ritual. Link movement to an existing habit, brushing your teeth, turning off lights, or watching the news. Your body thrives on consistency. Even small actions repeated daily create lasting adaptations. Real-life story: Maria's couch to confidence routine. Maria was 71 when she told me,
"Doctor, I feel like I melt into the couch every evening. The more I rest, the more exhausted I feel."
Her blood work was stable, diet decent, but her balance was getting worse. She had fallen twice in the past 6 months, so I gave her one assignment: 5 minutes of movement before bed. That's it. She started doing simple wall push-ups and leg marches in place while brushing her teeth. 2 weeks later, I'm sleeping better. A month in, my knees don't hurt when I stand up. By month 3, I feel like I'm reawakening, like my legs are mine again. Her total time investment? Less than 10 minutes per night. What's really happening in the brain? The secret is in neuroplasticity. Your brain's ability to adapt. When you move your body even gently, your brain forms new patterns of communication telling the muscles, stay online, stay connected, stay strong. This mind-muscle loop is essential to maintaining independence, preventing falls, supporting cognition and confidence. Remember, movement isn't just about the body, it's about reminding the brain you're still in control. So what have we learned? Evening stillness may feel restful, but for your muscles it's a dangerous signal of disuse. A few minutes of light movement before bed can ignite circulation, preserve strength, and reset your brain-body connection. But there's one more piece to the puzzle. In the next section, we'll uncover a hidden hormonal saboteur, one that quietly steals your muscle while you sleep, no matter how well you eat or move. And the solution? Surprisingly simple. Let's continue. The hidden hormonal saboteur, destroying senior muscle. You're eating better, you're moving more, you're trying your best to stay active and energized, but somehow, your muscles still feel like they're getting weaker. Your strength doesn't bounce back like it used to. Even after a good week, nutritious meals, light exercise, you feel drained, deflated, unstable. So what's going on? The answer could be hiding in your hormones, particularly one that works while you sleep. And unless you address this nighttime hormonal imbalance, all your effort during the day may continue to be quietly undone while you rest. Let me explain. Meet the muscle-saving hormone, growth hormone. When you think of growth hormone, you might imagine bodybuilders or children going through puberty. But here's what most people, especially seniors, don't realize. Growth hormone plays a critical role in repairing and rebuilding muscle in older adults. It's released in pulses at night, particularly in the first 1-2 hours of deep sleep. This hormone stimulates protein synthesis, repairs micro tears in muscle fibers, supports fat metabolism so your body burns fat, not muscle, helps maintain bone density and immune strength. But here's the problem. As you age, your natural levels of GH decline dramatically, and poor sleep, stress, and late-night habits can suppress it even more. The sleep-muscle connection. Sleep isn't just rest, it's an anabolic window. When you don't reach deep restorative stages of sleep, your body fails to release enough growth hormone, and muscle recovery slows to a crawl. Poor sleep leads to higher cortisol, the stress hormone that breaks down muscle, lower testosterone and GH, both essential for rebuilding muscle. Increased insulin resistance, making it harder to absorb nutrients into muscle tissue. Even one bad night can leave you less stable, more fatigued, and more prone to losing muscle, especially in the lower body. Now imagine that pattern repeated over weeks, months, or years. It's no wonder so many seniors feel like they're shrinking. The hidden habits that sabotage hormones. Here are common nighttime mistakes that block growth hormone and accelerate muscle loss. Late night eating, especially sugar or alcohol. Spikes blood sugar, suppresses growth hormone. Alcohol disrupts deep sleep cycles. Blue light exposure from screens, phones, TVs, and tablets suppress melatonin, delaying deep sleep. Going to bed too late after 11 p.m., growth hormone peaks earlier in the night. Sleeping late means you miss your natural hormone window. Chronic stress without wind-down routines keeps cortisol high, blunts all muscle-building responses. Your nighttime hormone reset routine. Thankfully, there are simple, science-backed ways to support your hormonal environment and encourage muscle preservation. Here's a 5-step ritual I often prescribe to patients. Stop eating 2-3 hours before bed. Gives your body time to shift from digestion to recovery. Keeps insulin low, allowing growth hormone to spike naturally. Use amber light or night mode after 8 p.m. Reduces blue light exposure. Promotes natural melatonin production. Add magnesium and glycine in the evening. Magnesium supports deep sleep and reduces nighttime cramps. Glycine improves sleep quality and thermoregulation. Practice 5 minutes of nervous system quieting, deep breathing, gentle stretching or light yoga, gratitude journaling or prayer. Keep a consistent sleep schedule, sleep before 10:30 p.m., wake at a regular time, even on weekends. Remember, hormones love routine more than intensity. Real life story, James's hormone reset. James, age 69, was frustrated. He exercised 3 times a week, he took his supplements, he ate clean, but his legs kept getting thinner.
Doctor, I feel like I'm doing everything right, but I'm still shrinking.
We reviewed his sleep, went to bed at midnight, scrolled on his phone until he fell asleep, ate fruit and toast before bed, slept only 5-6 hours. We implemented a 2-week hormone reset plan, no food after 7:30 p.m., phone off by 8:45 p.m., magnesium with chamomile tea, sleep mask and consistent bedtime at 10:15 p.m.
I wake up feeling lighter, stronger, less stiffness, and I actually look more toned.
It wasn't a magic pill. It was removing the hormonal obstacles his body couldn't overcome on its own. Final message: protect your muscle, protect your life. Let's recap what you've learned. Protein timing matters, especially in the evening. Gentle movement before bed tells your body to preserve strength. Nighttime hormones determine whether you repair or deteriorate. Muscle isn't just about strength, it's your reserve tank for aging well. It protects your brain, your bones, your balance, your freedom, and most importantly, it's never too late to reverse the loss. You can start tonight, not with extreme exercise, not with expensive supplements, but with small, intentional actions that signal your body to rebuild, not decline. The most powerful medicine is your consistency. So if you're ready, I invite you to take the first step. Prioritize your evening nutrition. Move just a little before bed, and protect your sleep like your independence depends on it, because it does. If you found this helpful, remember to like this video and subscribe for more senior health tips that actually work. Your journey matters, and I'm here to walk it with you. Stay strong, stay sharp, and never stop rebuilding.